Ladies and gentlemen, non-binaries of the internet, this is Musical Hangout. I am Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire, the man of the hour, the man with the power, too sweet to be sour, too hot to handle, too cold to hold, dare to be bold, ladies and gentlemen. This is Musical Hangout, the live music experience of our generation. Please click the like button to let the algorithms know that I'm doing the right thing. Subscribe for more content, including live streams, shorts content, long-form content, guitar lessons, interesting videos, all musically themed. Links, as always, to the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikToks, everything like that can be found down in the description box below. There'll also be a link to a brand spanking new song. I guess maybe not. I just now realized it's a month old, called At Least Jesus Loves You. I do perform it here on this very program, both acoustically and electrically, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 29th of July, where we are still reeling from the death of Ozzy Osbourne. Last week I came on and talked a little bit about Ozzy Osbourne dying, and just a few days later, the immortal Hulk Hogan passed away, and only nerds like me really care that watch wrestling. And listen, I'm a little too young to be a Hulk Hogan fan. When he was active as a wrestler, he was actually a bad guy, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. So there's been a lot of people saying lots of different things about him, and I would like to remind you all that Hulk Hogan is a character, somewhat fictional. Wrestling is one of those weird things where, I don't think Terry Funk's real name was Terry Funk. CM Punk's name is not actually CM Punk. But there is a difference between Terry Bollea, the man behind Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan as a character. So keep that in mind as you're typing in, oh, I never liked Hulk Hogan to begin with, or he's racist, or he's that. Just remember that Hulk Hogan can't really be any of those things because he's not technically real. Terry Bollea was very real, and he has died. He is gone. All right, but I'm going to be here for about an hour tonight, unless I forgot to charge my camera battery, which I'm now living in constant fear of. But we'll get through it. Stranger things have happened. I've got my secret producer on standby, watching along, making sure that you were all behaving yourselves in the comments section, and also letting me know if last week, unfortunately, we had some sound issues. But being the brilliant technician I am, I was able to get them all fixed. I say with maximum confidence and effort. But we're going to start off with a little bit of that Stormy Monday. This is a blues classic done by B.B. King and others. I did a YouTube Shorts earlier and a TikTok for those of you who are interested in that, breaking down some B.B. King guitar licks. So check that out. Call it Stormy Monday, oh, but Tuesday's just as bad. Oh, they call it Stormy Monday, yeah, but Tuesday's just as bad. Wednesday it's worse. Oh, Thursday, it's all so sad. Well, the eagle flies on Friday. Saturday, I go out to play. Hey, the eagle flies on Friday. Saturday I go out to play. Well, Sunday I go to church. I'll kneel down to pray. I cried, Lord have mercy. won't you have mercy on me? I cried, Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy on me. When I'm searching for my baby, won't you send her back to me? Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy on me. I cried, Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy on me. I've been searching for my baby. Won't you send her back to me? One more time. Woo-wee. Stormy Monday. 02AIO says, if you can turn that mic up a little bit more, it would be great. You bet. It does look a little low. Give you some more room sound, too. Downside with the room mic is it does pick up a little bit of the guitar pick, and other live streamers that do that, I always find it, I don't know, it just bothers me, which is weird. I can also speak a little bit more from the diaphragm. That will help as well. Thank you for listening. Alrighty. Hey, we're going to keep on rolling here with the hits. This is a tune of mine called Asteroid Blues. Yeah, that is a reference to Cowboy Bebop, the anime. For those of you who are weebs, I'm not one of you, but I do respect Cowboy Bebop. I'm told to stay away from the live-action Netflix adaptation, so I've done that. I'm a little too cautious. I've wasted a lot of time on really crappy shows and movies and things like that, so I just don't want to take any more chances. But, you know, you got to watch bad things every once in a while. It's how you develop taste, ladies and gentlemen, and the same thing goes for music. You got to listen to bad music, bad songs every so often, just so you know what you like and what you don't like. Anyways, this is a tune called Asteroid Blues. It was a single I did a number of years ago, and it goes like this. Yeah, so that's Asteroid Blues. I got a little out of a tune there, but this is what happens when you have this type of instrument here. Technically a Gibson, even though the stock says Epiphone. Gibson owns them, which is kind of wild because Epiphone is like ancient, ladies and gentlemen. As old as time, as they say. Moses probably was like doing something. I don't know. All right, this is a tune of mine from my last album. It's called Boogie Your Blues Away, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good solution whenever you feel blue. Stay away from excessive food. Don't go to McDonald's or anything like that. And if you're crashing out, especially don't, touch the liquor. You don't want to do that. You want to just crank up some Led Zeppelin or something like that, Little Richard for me, and just start dancing, ladies and gentlemen. This is especially going out to the lady at the grocery store last weekend, the cashier lady, because I don't do self-checkout when I have a lot of groceries. And my sister in Christ had what the kids call a crash out moment. She crashed out while we were cashing out. Can you dig it? And I don't expect a lot of professionalism at the grocery store, but man, this lady was just not having a good day. She was the only cashier, she wanted to not have to work on a Saturday, and I can relate to that. That's why I got a day job, ladies and gentlemen, where I don't have to work the weekends. And then I have different problems. I got, errands to run and chores to do because that kind of stuff builds up throughout the week. But, part of the beauty of being married is that, you can crash out to your spouse, not strangers. Save it for home. That's what I always say. So, lady at the grocery store, this one's for you. Don't crash out at strangers whose groceries you're bagging. Just boogie your blues away. Well, now your blues are bad. The worst old feeling that you ever had when you wanted taken away. I got a method. Let me show it today. Let me boogie for you, baby. A boogie your blues away. Let me boogie for you, baby. Let me boogie for you, baby. Let me boogie for you, baby. Oh, let me boogie for you. You hear that, grocery lady? Let me boogie for you, baby. I'll boogie your blues away. Well, you start off with beating just to get it right. Play Little Richard, watch your feet take flight. How and wolf and how Freddie was the king. Step aside, boys. It's time for me to do my thing. Let me boogie for you, baby. I'll boogie your blues away. Let me boogie for you, baby. Let me boogie for you, baby. Let me boogie for you, baby. Oh, let me boogie for you. Let me boogie for you, baby. Now boogie your blues away. Boogie to the right, boogie to the left. Boogie yourself, baby, with all your might. Go to church on Sunday, and you boogie for Christ. At least I do. And the boogie for you, baby, now boogie your blues away. Oh yeah. Let me boogie for you, baby. Let me boogie for you, baby. Let me boogie for you, baby. Yeah, let me boogie for you. Let me boogie for you, baby. Now boogie your blues away. One more time. Yes, is the word I'm looking for. And why did the weather come up? It says it's hot outside, which I believe. In any case, how we doing, folks? We hanging in there? This is live if you're just now joining us. I am not a robot. This is not AI. This is actually me. I'm just a guy. In a chair with a nice blue guitar here, blue hat, blue shirt. Just realized everything I'm wearing matches. Hallelujah. I guess you're not supposed to match clothes anymore. Didn't get that memo. Alrighty, so we talked about Hulk Hogan. We talked about Ozzy Osbourne and grocery store ladies. Now, this is another tune of mine from an album I did back in 2023. The album is called I Have No Strings and I Must Play. Links is always below. And this tune is called Beatnik Trousers, which is a funny way of saying bell-bottom jeans, which actually I'm wearing. Let's see if I can flex. See my little piggies there? That'll be a great one for the thumbnail. I'm going to do it again. Give him that $1 million smile. Anyways, you put that in the thumbnail, and I bet you people are like, what is he doing? Anyways, oh yes, bell-bottom jeans. We call them Beatnik Trousers around these parts. This is a tune that dates back to the early days of this little program here. So it's a flagship tune, if you will. Back in the early days, I would do 1 week acoustic, 1 week electric, but ran out of time and energy for that. But we do have an acoustic stream coming. There'll be more on that later on in the stream, so don't go nowhere. Because we're about to get beatnik on it. Here we go, Beatnik Trousers. It goes like this. Yeah. Did I set a record? I was thinking about that. I probably should have been thinking about other things. But did I set a record for the most riffs in one song? I think not. I think that record belongs to probably Eric Johnson in the always talked about in the guitar community, Cliffs of Dover. Certainly, if that doesn't have the most, per, musical bar guitar riffs, it certainly has the most catchy guitar riffs, ladies and gentlemen, the most melodic, if you will. And that's why Eric Johnson is Eric Johnson, and I'm here in the second bedroom of an apartment in $30 bell-bottom jeans talking to you. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Whoops. Hey, here's a tune I ain't done in a little while. It's a tune called Red House. Of course, we like to call it Crimson Domicile around these parts. And I've been doing it a real long time. Red house over yonder, that's where my baby stays. Lord, there's a red house over yonder, Lord, that's where my baby stays. To see my baby in about a 99 and 1/2 days. Wait a minute, something's wrong. The key won't unlock this door. Wait a minute, something's wrong. The key won't unlock this door. Got a real bad feeling that my baby don't live here no more. might as well go back over yonder, way back yonder across the hill. Well, I might as well go back over yonder, way back yonder across the hill. If my baby don't love me no more, I know his sister will. Yeah, Red House, Jimi Hendrix, been doing that one also since the very beginning of the inception of this show. Still need to do a video there on Axis, Bold as Love. Great Jimi Hendrix record. Great record. Great record. Hey, I didn't mention this earlier because I forgot. But another guitar hero of mine is Michael Bloomfield, ladies and gentlemen, of Paul Butterfield Blues Band fame. No, that's not right. What? I'm blanking on the name that he played for. No, that's right. For some reason, I got the Paul Butterfield Blues Band confused with John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. How I did that is anybody's guess. Completely different regions of the globe of Earth. In any case, I got introduced to him through Bob Dylan. Played on a couple of Bob Dylan records back in the day. And the song towards the beginning I did, called Asteroid Blues, is inspired by a tune that he did. This song is straight up a tribute to Michael Bloomfield. It's sort of a gospel blues. Those of you who are musically inclined or just know how to listen to music will notice that there is quite a number of chord changes in here, and most of them, are not what you would find in a standard 12-bar blues shuffle. And it goes, so Tribute to Michael Bloomfield is the name of this song. It can be found on my 2024 album called Imaginary Songs. To date, one of the best pieces of music that I have in my repertoire. So you want to check that out after we're done here, of course. nothing but the best when we honor our heroes. That's all I have to say about that. Bad Forrest Gump impressions aside, we're going to keep on rolling here, ladies and gentlemen. Got a few more left in me. This tune is another tribute. Wow, I'm just realized how smart I am doing these things back to back. This is another tribute to a guitar hero of mine. It is called Roy's Groove. It is a tribute to the legendary guitar player, of course, the best guitar player that you've never heard of, called Roy Buchanan. I've done a couple videos, actually, about Roy. Way back in the day, I did an Unsung Six-String Heroes about him. I did one on Michael Bloomfield as well. I also just did, actually, I believe at the top of this week, it must have been, one of my little, of this YouTube Shorts and TikTok series where I go through some of my physical media. And I had bought recently over the 4th of July weekend Dancing on the Edge from 1986. Not my favorite Roy Buchanan record, but I would just like to say I bought it just for the, the bragging rights to say I own a Roy Buchanan vinyl. You can't put a price tag on that. They did. It was $5. Anyways, this is found on, again, the I Have No Strings and I Must Play album from 2023. Seems like forever ago. think got to play that one on the Telecaster from Maximum Roy Buchananus. You know, people ask you, how comes you own so many different guitars? And it's, well, one, because it's my collection, mind your own damn business. And second of all, it's because I like a variety of different sounds, especially when I'm making an album. Especially with this album I'm making. Ladies and gentlemen, I just have one song left to record for that, and it should hopefully be to you by the end of August. I'm hoping. Let's all, hopes and prayers out there for for the Z-Man here. But especially with an album like this, where it's a massive undertaking, it is really a combination of, and maybe a summation of everything I've done up to this point in my life musically. We got some folkier numbers, some bluesier numbers, some rock and rolly numbers. It's gonna be great. But when you're making an album like that, you definitely want a lot of choices on hand, and especially, if nothing else, I play differently, ladies and gentlemen, on different guitars. I play the 335 different than I do the Les Paul, even though there are some similarities there. And of course, the Strats and Tellys I play differently than everything, and it gets quite complicated. So I'll move on. And speaking of the new record, this is a new tune. I've done it, I think, twice on this very program. Hard to say. It's called Lost Highway. You will hear a recorded version of it. Again, played on a Telecaster. But we're going to do it on the 335 because I want to. It's called Lost Highway. And you'll want to make sure that you're following me here or elsewhere to find out exactly when that album is coming out and what the heck the name of the album is. I know what I'm going to call it, but I'm not going to share it with you right now. Lost Highway, here we go. Lost Highway. Such a groove, such a jam. Alright, a couple more for you. This is another tune from my last record called... Well, the tune is called Where I Stand. And the album it's from is called Imaginary Songs. Again, links below will take you to Amazon, Spotify, Apple, all that fun stuff. This one's going to be for the troops, for the boys, for the kids that thought maybe they got something cooking with a nice young dame, only to realize, oh, I guess not. And they will be boogieing their blues away. See the top of the show for a reference to that. Anyways, Where I Stand, it goes something like this. Someone saw you standing alone in the blue light. Then he came right up to you and he held you near. They were surprised it was not me, so I let them know. It's all so clear and I have no regrets, 'cause I know where I stand. I sat by the phone waiting for you to call. You said that you needed to think about us. I said that's fine. You know I'm a man that you can trust. You made it clear that there were no regrets, and now I know where I stand. I liked your smile and I liked your lips, I even liked your lips. I don't want you to think I'm alone, I found someone new. So give me a smile, won't you give me a wave, we see each other out. All your memories dear and I have no regrets, 'cause I know where we stand. Yeah, I like that one. Get to play with the phalanges, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these cats out there I see on the internet, they can play 1,000,000 notes a minute, which is cool and everything, but sometimes it's nice to just give your picks a rest, so to speak, and I don't know, maybe see what else can be said and done. All right, we're going to close it here with a little bit of a like Jeff Beck / Beatles cover. Jeff Beck did this. I heard it and I was like, cool. What can I do with that? This is a day in the life from the effervescent Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band record. I don't think that's the right word for that. I don't even know how to spell it, so I don't know why I'm using it. But this is a day in the life. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles / Jeff Beck, A Day in the Life. I am Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire. Thank you so much for tuning in. For however long you did it, whether it was 5 seconds because you thought you were clicking on a cat video or something else, or you generally are here for good musics and fun vibes and ghosts and things like that. That does mean the most. I would also appreciate it if you'd hit that like button if you liked this stream. Maybe go back and watch a previous live stream. They're all there, going back to 2022. So check that out. That's in the description box. The Instagram, the Facebook, the TikTok as well. Would always appreciate a follow. Shout out to Trader Joe's for the sparkling water. Maybe we can do a brand deal or something like that so that I don't have to work a day job. I'll let you, the ball's in your court, Trader Joe's. I will not be here. Well, you know what? I will be here next week. I won't be an acoustic live stream. I'm going to work diligently on that. I got to remember some of my old songs, and then we'll also do some new songs. Get you hyped up for that new album. So be on the lookout for that acoustic live stream. But until next week, we will be back here doing blues, funkiness, and all manner of malfeasance, 6-string malfeasance. Again, that's going to be in August sometime. I don't know the exact date. But it'll be then. And until next time, I'm Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire, reminding you that if everything is coming your way, you're in the wrong frickin' lane. Bread is bread, cheese is cheese. Praise God. So two dogs run into each other in the park, and one dog says to the other, "Hey, you look familiar. I feel like I've seen you before. We must go to the same church or something like that." And the other dog looks up and says, "Nah, not church. You're thinking of the butcher shop. Their bones are divine." All right, we'll see you next time, folks. Later.